Hey everyone, I would like to introduce you all to Parlay. So I think the best way to describe Parlay is an online discussion board, which can also be used as a tool to facilitate live in-class discussions. Parlay revolves around things that are called round tables. So I can start a new roundtable, and I've got a couple of courses. So I'll go into my Algebra 1 course to do this, and I can have two choices. I can create something that is online. This appears to me to be like a typical discussion board that you might see in a learning management system that you might use. A live roundtable is where you would have either a discussion that is face-to-face, or you could also facilitate this online through a Zoom setting. And the live roundtable has digital tools that help kids to respond in a digitally appropriate way to other students. So if you have a discussion board in your learning management system already, you might think that this isn't a tool that you would need to use, but I would at least go in here and look at Parlay and see how they set up their discussion board prompts, because this is pretty powerful. So there are two choices of roundtables. Online, which is your typical discussion board, typically could be done asynchronously. And then there are live roundtables, which are done face-to-face or via Zoom or Google Meet. And these are typically done synchronously. So let me go back. So I mentioned if you're already using a discussion board in your learning management system, Parlay might be an interesting place to go look. Their universe is getting more robust by the day. And so there are a number of topics that I can sort through. So for example, science and innovation. There are 6 subcategories with the number of roundtables that are involved. So let's sneak down here to technology and topics of the future. And these are roundtables. Some of them are created by the Parlay folks themselves, others by other Parlay users. And so, life without electricity. This is the prompt, the learning goals, the digital prompts, and the discussion questions. I know Parlay likes to organize their discussion questions around using Bloom's taxonomy. And then peer feedback. In other words, how would you like your students to respond digitally to other students in this discussion board? So there seems to be two things working all the time on Parlay discussions or roundtables. There is the content itself, but there's also the digital citizenship part, where students are learning how to respond appropriately to others in a digital setting. I can bookmark this, which kind of goes into my favorites, and you can see that this is Parlay certified. So these things that are on their universe have been vetted by Parlay. Or if I want to, I can use this topic right away. And I can select the course that I've created that I'd like to use it for. And I can go ahead and create my roundtable. I can edit this before I invite students to it. So if I want to edit this, and maybe I'd like to create different learning goals for my students, or maybe add another bit of a digital prompt, or maybe add some other questions, or maybe I'd like to emphasize different types of peer feedback that I'd like my students to work on. Once I am ready to invite kids to my roundtable, I can invite and provide them the link in a number of different ways. They can go to parllayideas.com and type in this join code, or I can copy this link and provide it to them in my LMS. I can add students one at a time, or I can incorporate my Google Classroom or my Teams. Let me go back to my dashboard. I do have a couple of classes that I've already created as I'm trying to explore this myself. And I have one I'm running this morning, and there's a couple that have not been submitted. Not sure why they haven't been submitted, but I just wanted to see what this would look like. At the end, in your summary, you get quite a bit of different data and feedback to help you make sense of what has gone on in your roundtable. And so you can provide feedback to those students in real time. And so this is the individual feedback as well. So interesting little tool. I'm learning, I'm trying to learn more about this so I can help the teachers at school I'm at for next year. But if you are using discussion boards already in your current learning management system, I think it would be worth giving Parlay at least a look over so you can take advantage of how they organize their prompts in their universe. And if you are looking for a nice discussion board, if you're a Google Classroom user and all you have is your stream and you'd like some sort of an online discussion board where the students could participate, this is I think might be a useful tool to consider. And if you are running discussions face-to-face or virtually, you're trying to find ways to facilitate that, this too is also a good tool to use. So this is Parlay. I'm next going to turn this over to Jenny Stadtmiller, and she's going to round third and bring us home